Coming up, a Sarasota man is charged with stealing more than $100,000 worth of lawn equipment from local businesses where police believe his accomplice may be on the loose. Plus, the latest on an early morning condo fire that forced two families out of their homes. And new details on the manhunt for the Waffle House shooter in Tennessee. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, a condo fire on Beneva Road left two families looking for a new place to stay after flames left their homes a near complete loss. ABC 7's Marla Spence has the latest as crews figure out what caused that fire.
A devastating morning for two families who are now without a home after an early morning fire. Right now, a state fire investigator is trying to find out the cause of the fire. We spoke to the Sarasota County Fire Chief, Mike Regner. He tells us crews arrived on scene after 2 this morning. We're told the fire started in an attic. Chief Regner says as a result, flames were shooting out the roof of one unit, causing damage to another. We spoke to a person who lives at Beneva Ridge Condos. He tells us his unit was right underneath the one that went up in flames.
When we found out it was smoke, like a fire, we get out of the house and we look on top of the building, and it was a lot of fire coming around the AC unit.
Two families were displaced. One family was a party of 6. The other family, we're not sure how many were in there. They did seek other means of a place to stay for this evening, but the family of 6 is going to get help from Red Cross.
Right now, maintenance at Beneva Ridge Condos are looking at ways to repair those two units that left those two families without a home. The American Red Cross did help that one family of 6 with money to help them find somewhere to stay tonight. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Marla, thank you. A Sarasota man arrested and charged with stealing more than 300 tools and lawn equipment from dozens of homes and businesses. His alleged accomplice, though, is still on the run today. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the Sarasota Police Department with more on the story today. Jess?
Scott, the Sarasota Police Department had received several calls about a string of burglaries happening in the central part of the city of Sarasota. They set up surveillance cameras, and that led them to a storage unit that was full of stolen equipment valued at about $100,000. This man, 57-year-old Lazaro Rodriguez of Sarasota, has already been arrested and charged, linked to at least 12 different burglaries. While police search for this man, 32-year-old Ricardo Ruiz, who they say worked closely with Rodriguez. Police say at night the pair would force their way into businesses and homes and steal high-valued tools. Then they'd pawn them for money, anything from concrete saws and jackhammers to impact sockets.
An enterprise. This was an operation that they were working, and when our detectives were able to open up the storage locker, it was filled from top to bottom, and it took our investigators a long time to be able to categorize these items and then try to identify who it belongs to.
If you live in the city of Sarasota and have seen any of your tools or lawn equipment go missing in the last couple of months, you're asked to contact Sarasota Police Department. They still have dozens of pieces of equipment that they're still looking for the owners of. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you. A Sarasota shooting investigation continues today after a fight on Sarasota's Lido Beach ended with a gunshot. Police responding before 7 o'clock Sunday night to a report of gunshots being fired there. One witness says she called 911 when she saw a group of people fighting with beach umbrellas. Then she heard something that made her warn others to get away.
I heard some guy say, "I'm going in to get my gun." I figured he meant to his car to get his gun. So that's when I ran back to the beach. I was like, okay, I'm not staying here for that. So I ran back to the beach, and I was kind of telling people that were at the beach, like, don't go, because they were trying to watch and see what was going on. I was like, don't go over there, stay down, get away.
Police confirming at least one shot was fired, but no one was hurt, and those responsible have been arrested. That investigation continues today. Sarasota police want to know why a child was wandering alone in an apartment complex parking lot this morning. The boy, who's believed to be 4 or 5 years old, was found only wearing a diaper when a resident who lived nearby spotted him walking alone in the Florida Palm Apartments. The boy's father contacting police, but the Department of Children and Families is now on its way to the scene to investigate what happened. No word yet on if the boy's father will face any charges. New details on that massive manhunt for a shooter who killed 4 people at a Waffle House restaurant near Nashville, Tennessee. Police say more than a day after the rampage, they still have few leads about where he may be. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
More than 24 hours after a man opened fire at a Waffle House outside Nashville, Tennessee, leaving 4 dead and many other injured.
Someone is shot. Units respond.
The suspect is still on the run. Authorities are searching for this man, 29-year-old Travis Reinking, warning he could be armed and ready to kill again. Police tweeting this morning there have been no credible sightings. The shooting began Sunday at 3:19 a.m. Witnesses at Waffle House say they saw the suspect get out of his truck wearing nothing but a green jacket and wielding this AR-15 assault rifle. The suspect opened fire and was only stopped when James Shaw Jr. wrestled the gun away from the shooter.
I'm not a hero. I'm just a regular person. And I think anybody could have did what I did.
Without his weapon, police say the suspect fled the scene on foot. Authorities report Reinking has a history of mental illness. In 2017, Reinking was arrested by the Secret Service for trespassing in a restricted area near the White House. At the time, his 4 firearms were seized by police and eventually turned over to his father. Police say they believe his father later gave all of them back to his son, including the rifle police say Reinking used Sunday to gun down his victims. Police checked and cleared all local schools this morning. Today they remain open but on lockdown procedure, and officials say no visitors will be allowed until the gunman is caught. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And for the latest breaking news across the country and here on the Suncoast, as well as your first alert weather forecast, you can download our app. You can find it at your app store under WWSB or My Suncoast. New at noon across the pond, it's a boy. The Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, giving birth to her 3rd child in London. Middleton is with her husband, Prince William, at the same hospital where both of their other children were also born. Still no word yet on any potential names for the new royal baby boy, who is now 5th in line for the throne. And I bet Great Britain is all a tizzy today about.
Don't you know?
Yeah.
Don't you know how many little trinkets are being sold outside that hospital right now?
I know, yeah.
We had a very pretty start to the day, you know. I mean, we had a lot of cloud cover around, but there was a kind of a weird blue tint to the sky.
Yeah.
It was kind of neat. This is the Anna Maria webcam. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, right? Components of visible light. Everything scattered out this morning except the blue, which managed to make it through the cloud cover that we had and led kind of a eerie view to the dawn breaking, actually. A lot of cloud cover around all day long. We have some peaks and some sunshine from time to time, but there'll be plenty of cloud this afternoon. And a little bit of sunshine that we get will actually only aid to help produce a few scattered showers around now. You can see we're just on the verge of a little bit of clearing, but that little bit of clearing will only aid in taking all the moisture that's in place, and there's plenty of it, and producing a few scattered showers around. We actually have a front located back in the central Gulf that's advancing in our direction, and that front was going to help to produce a few scattered showers later on today and through tomorrow as well. So we'll keep that rain chance in, despite there's not a lot of activity over us right now. There have been a few scattered showers around over the course of the morning. Our rain chance really only at about 30%. We're looking at temperatures that are already in the lower 80s, and the cloud cover that we've had around and we'll have this afternoon will probably keep us in the mid 80s for a daytime high. Complete forecast coming up in a few, Scott.
John, thank you. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a check of the day on Wall Street. And as we open the new week on Wall Street, a bunch of up arrows.
What do you think of that?
That's good news.
The market was down Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So Monday, different story. Different story and a very busy week. Yes, indeed. Corporate earnings, quarterly earnings. This week we will see more quarterly earnings than any other week of the quarter, of course. More than 1/3 of the 500 stocks that make up the S&P 500 index will report earnings this week. That's, yes, more than 167 companies announcing earnings. Yes, indeed, I'll be rather busy. So that being said, let's take a look at our modest gains, but modest in gains. There you see the Dow up 47 points, 0.2% at 24,513.35. That on a volume of 388 million shares. The NASDAQ, the strongest mover of the day, up 44 points, more than 0.6% at 7,190.02. That on volume of 714 million shares. And of course, if those are up, so's the S&P, 12 points, more than 0.4% at 2,681.93. Well, are you ready for some football? Wait a minute, this is April. Yes, well, we're ready for some football because the NFL draft is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And guess what? Pizza Hut is now the official sponsor. They've taken over from Papa John's. And as a result of that, they're going to be celebrating the draft Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. All kinds of special deals available. The best one is the NFL draft deal, as they call it. 2 medium pizzas, an order of wings, and breadsticks for $19.99. So yes, I know it's April. I know the exhibition season starts in August, and I know the real season starts in September, but who can turn down pizza when it comes to the NFL, right?
The NFL is kind of a year-round sport now,
I think
especially
you're
with the
exactly
draft
right.
this week. Everybody
much
watching
so.
for their favorite team.
Yeah.
We'll see you again at 5 for the final numbers.
And hopefully the arrows will still be pointing in the right direction.
Okay, Richard, thanks.
You're welcome.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, how one entrepreneur is hoping to change the face of China's food industry with a new meatless pork option. And why the researcher accused of improperly giving Facebook data to a popular data firm is now speaking out.
The ABC 7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
Doesn't sound like.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The Spring Fever sales event is going on now at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota. Drive a new 2018 Corolla for only $79 per month, the all-new 2018 Camry for only $119 per month, and 2018 RAV4 for just $129 per month at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC 7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
That's some really nice viewer photos in as I came back to work this morning and checked them out. I was impressed. This one is from Sam. Appreciate this. This is Sarasota Bay yesterday, and you can see we had some pretty nice clouds developing here. The underbase of a thunderstorm here showing what is the beginning of what's called mammatus clouds, and indication of a stronger storm. That actually became a very strong storm inland. Nice shot here from Tampa Airport. Cindy sent this one in. That's a lenticular cloud, actually, or as she liked to call it, a flying saucer cloud, and that's appropriate. A lot of times, this kind of a cloud, the flying saucer cloud, lenticular cloud, is being attributed for sightings of UFOs. Kind of a neat looking cloud there, huh? I love that cloud. And then just a nice shot to finish it all off from Venice Pier. Lillian sent this in. Beautiful setting sun shot yesterday. I'm not sure how the sunset is going to be tonight. It's a little dicey. I think near the coastline we should be all right for sunset, and if you want to take a little bit of a beach walk, but we will see a few scattered showers around at sunset time, particularly in inland areas. 81 degrees the current temperature, the dew point value at 73. It's a sticky, steamy day. South wind helping to really pump that moisture in, and that will be the case throughout the afternoon, looks like. Temperatures will be in the probably mid-80s as a top-off temperature. Our winds are going to go from south to more of a southwest direction as we head into the evening. That'll moderate the temperature just a little bit. Plus, inland there'll be showers and thunderstorms kind of keeping down the temperature. You can see a little bit of clearing back behind this first little impulse that we have this morning, producing showers out in the Gulf and then over land. That's now kind of moving off to the north and to the east, but a secondary impulse is our actual frontal boundary, and that will be moving through later. 85 by 3 p.m. with a 30% chance of showers, trickling off to about a 20% chance, and then maybe picking up again tomorrow as this frontal boundary approaches from the west. That will be helping to trigger off showers and thunderstorms tomorrow morning. Then high pressure builds in back behind it, and we will see clearing take place tomorrow, which will last for most of the rest of the work week. Southwest wind turns west at 10. Watch for some showers, particularly in the second half of the afternoon out there in Gulf waters. 30% chance of showers today, followed by about a 40% early on Tuesday, and then clearing in the second half of the day. 80 on Wednesday with lots of sunshine. Should be a beautiful day on Wednesday. Same thing on Thursday and on Friday. Another front approaches on Saturday with a chance of rainfall, but Sunday everything clears out. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In Health Smart, we know that carrying around extra weight puts your heart health at risk, but now it seems like the location of that fat is just as important as the amount of it. ABC's Janae Norman explains.
New research presented to the European Society of Cardiology today showed that those with extra belly fat, which is known as central obesity, have the highest heart disease risk. Even more surprising, people with a normal body mass index, or BMI, but with central obesity were 76% more likely to have major heart disease events than people who were mildly overweight but with normally distributed body fat. This includes events like heart attack, stroke, and death. This study included nearly 1,700 people who didn't have heart disease at the beginning of the study. Why does it matter? Scientists think the link is a combination of DNA and habits. Central obesity has been linked with being sedentary, sitting most of the day, and with low muscle mass. Genetics can make you more likely to carry your weight in the belly as well. So what should you do? No matter who you are, you can improve your heart health by walking more and making good dietary choices. And no matter your weight, if your waist is bigger than your hips, see a doctor to discuss your heart disease risk. With this Medical Minute, I'm Janae Norman, ABC News.
Well, this is National Infant Immunization Week, and Florida health officials are reminding parents to double check that their child is up to date with all their vaccines. The state is working to increase access to immunizations for infants and expecting mothers. They're also trying to increase access to vaccine-preventable diseases in children and teens. To learn more about the recommended immunization schedule, you can go to our website, mysuncoast.com, and just look for this story. China is the world's #1 consumer of pork. So one entrepreneur is taking a bite out of the country's massive meat consumption with a new vegetarian option. David Young has launched a new product called OmniPork. It's made from soy, rice, mushrooms, and pea proteins, but it tries to mimic the feel and the taste of real pork. There are a lot of easy-to-cook meatless products already on the market, but Young said that they mostly appeal to Western palates. His target market for now is China, but he hopes to offer his OmniPork to the rest of the world sometime soon. All right, it's time for lunch now, so let's get over to the kitchen and check in for the first time today with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Judy?
I love making homemade pound cake. It's something that's been around for generations and so many great recipes. I've combined an orange pound cake and a lemon pound cake. And what I did for today's recipe is I split it into 2 cake pans. Now, a lot of times we'll use a bundt pan or tube pan. The thing I like about using the cake pans, the 2 9-inch, is that you really literally have 2 cakes. So we can serve it a lot of different ways. A pound cake is wonderful, just buttered and put on the grill for a brunch item with some berries on top. And with all these great Florida strawberries, it's going to come together with a little strawberry sauce I made and both a vanilla and a lemon orange glaze. So stay with me throughout the hour as I bring you the freshness of spring flavors and more with a citrus pound cake.
Did you know you could get life insurance in just a few minutes? With Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with just a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, TruStage Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you. TruStage cares for you the same way you care for your family. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now. Any amount of protection can help, and you are guaranteed to be accepted. In just a few minutes, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Getting life insurance can be fast and easy, and it could cost less than you think. Plus, your price will never increase, and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-809-8372 now for a free, no-obligation quote. It's fast and easy. Plus, you get TruStage's 30-day satisfaction guarantee. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with Guaranteed Acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-809-8372 today.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Welcome back. We're learning new developments about that Facebook privacy scandal. 2 key figures are preparing to testify, including the researcher accused of improperly giving Facebook data to a research firm that was later connected to the Trump campaign. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis has the latest.
He's the scientist at the heart of the Facebook privacy scandal, Alexander Kogan, a researcher at the University of Cambridge who lawfully ran a personality test on Facebook in 2014 to collect the data of millions of Americans. But according to Facebook, broke company policy when he shared that information with political consultancy Cambridge Analytica.
So, I mean, at the time, I thought we were doing everything that was correct. You know, I was kind of acting, honestly, quite naively. I thought we were doing everything okay.
Kogan telling 60 Minutes what he did on the social network was a common occurrence among researchers. His quiz, downloaded about 270,000 times, according to Facebook, put as many as 87 million users' information at risk.
People signed into that app expecting to share the data with Kogan, and then he turned around and in violation of our policies and in violation of people's expectations, sold it to a third-party firm, to Cambridge Analytica in this case.
The information, including everything from user locations to genders to interests, as well as information on their friends, potentially valuable in swaying voters with targeted advertising.
The idea that we stole the data, I think, is technically incorrect. I mean, this is not a hack.
Rebecca Jarvis, ABC News, New York.
No word yet if Facebook will have to deal with punishment abroad as British Parliament considers putting new regulations on the social media giant. Let's get back to the kitchen and check in again with Judy Gallagher. Judy?
Okay, it's going to get a little noisy here, but I just want to show you the process. I have in here vegetable oil, ½ pound of full butter with salt, and I have some, there we go, and some sugar, 2 cups of sugar. Now, when a recipe asks for eggs, especially if there's several, pound cakes take about 6. You want to go one at a time. Really let that get incorporated. Halfway through, by all means, you can stop the mixer. Make sure, again, it's all incorporated. And always use large eggs. Extra large are too big, and medium are a little bit small. The key to a good pound cake is to get it fluffy so it's not too dense. Let's shut that off for a minute. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to add the flour that has salt, baking soda, and baking powder. And of course, you'll get the exact amounts with the recipe up on mysuncoast.com/dining. So we're going to put some of that in, and then we're going to rotate using the buttermilk. Whenever you use buttermilk, shake it first. And if you don't have buttermilk, but you get in the urge to bake a cake, you can take regular milk, add 2 tablespoons of white vinegar, stir it only once, and let it sit in a warm place on your counter for about an hour, and you will have buttermilk. So here we go with the thickness of buttermilk. And then we're going to rotate again with the flour, which I can do off air. Then we're going to add some vanilla extract, some lemon extract, and you always want to get the pure kind, never use imitation, and some orange blossom extract, which I think just adds that floral note to it. So we'll whip the rest of that up when we're off camera. It's going to go into a well-greased 9-inch cake pan, 2 of them actually, or the bundt pan, as I mentioned. Now, if you're watching, you can see that on other segments, I've made a strawberry sauce before because it's so easy. This is 2 pints of strawberries chopped, 3/4 cup of water, and 3 tablespoons of sugar. You can use stevia if you want, as well as in the cake. And this makes this perfect sauce. It can freeze, but we'll use it as a drizzle in just a few minutes. So when we come back, it's time for the cakes to come out of the oven and cool, and we'll get it ready for a delicious dessert.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help. With Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sunny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
My name is Julius. I have cerebral palsy. I work for Farmer Jeffrey Weising Law Firm. I do a lot of data entry and scanning documents. I want to increase my working experience to make the company much better. At the end of the day, it's good to think of the day's work and to think about what I have accomplished.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to abilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery? Sure. We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard live up to a set of time-honored principles.
I will always place the mission first.
They stand ready to respond to any crisis.
I will never accept defeat.
They serve in their communities as citizens and as soldiers.
I will never quit.
They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times.
I will never leave a fallen comrade.
Learn more at NationalGuard.com.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Coming up, the latest in Washington as President Trump gets ready to meet with French President Emmanuel Macron. Plus, what visitors are saying as crews begin construction on a parking garage at St. Armand's Circle. And why a Manatee County restaurant is getting ready to close its doors for good.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. President Trump back in Washington today after a busy weekend on Twitter, firing off more than 24 tweets, tackling everything from North Korea to defending his longtime personal attorney. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest from Washington.
President Trump is standing by his longtime lawyer and fiercely loyal fixer, Michael Cohen.
I will do anything to protect Mr. Trump.
Cohen is the subject of a criminal investigation. The New York Times reporting he may cooperate with federal investigators, leading the president to lash out, tweeting, "Sorry, I don't see Michael doing that, despite the horrible witch hunt and the dishonest media."
Why is the president, though, talking about the notion of Michael Cohen flipping if the president didn't do anything wrong?
You have to look at everything the president has said about Michael Cohen and the FBI raid. He's defending someone who he's worked with and known for a dozen-plus years, Dana, who he thinks is being treated unfairly.
A source telling ABC News, quote, Michael Cohen will never flip.
This is an epic battle for the soul and the cooperation of Michael Cohen. And prosecutors have enormous weapons at their disposal. They can threaten him essentially with life imprisonment. They can threaten his parents. They can threaten his spouse.
Also on the president's Twitter feed, news out of North Korea and the announcement the country would suspend nuclear weapons testing and plans to close its nuclear test site. But President Trump incorrectly claiming they have agreed to denuclearization.
Kim Jong-un has learned about public relations and is setting it up well for him. He views having deliverable nuclear weapons as his ticket to dying as an old man in his bed.
And this all comes as President Trump is planning a face-to-face meeting with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. He said that meeting could happen in late May or June. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
This is a big day for former CIA Director Mike Pompeo as he faces an uphill battle to become President Trump's Secretary of State. Pompeo could make history as he faces a vote from the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, where a Secretary of State nominee has never received anything but a favorable report. The vote will take place later today, and even if they vote Pompeo down, his nomination will still go to the full Senate. Caught on camera, the New Orleans Fire Department cleaning up after a massive fire broke out in a warehouse this morning. Take a look. At least 2 trucks were continuously spraying water onto the flames for several hours. The building, which housed 3 businesses, is a total loss. 2 of those businesses sold furniture, providing plenty of fuel for the fire. Still unclear how the fire started, but no one was hurt. Take a look at this large tornado captured by a police dash cam in Alabama. Authorities confirmed a tornado touched down in Foley, which is about 45 minutes southeast of Mobile near the Gulf on Sunday. The twister in the distance heading down an empty highway. Several RVs were overturned. Several buildings were also damaged. Let's get a check on our weather today. Nothing like that around here. Meteorologist John Scalzi joins us now. We might see a little bit of rain, but nothing severe or big like that.
No, we've got a strong storm in progress now in Hardee County, but nothing severe, nothing like that. This is a frontal boundary that'll come through kind of unnoticed. We could use a little bit more rainfall. We've had some nice showers from time to time over the weekend, so that was kind of nice to see, and the drought indexes have responded accordingly, down just a little bit. We may see some periods of sun mixed with cloud this afternoon. That will help to destabilize the atmosphere further and encourage the development of these showers that we have been seeing through the morning hours and are seeing now in progress in inland areas mostly. And I think As we head into the afternoon, the majority of action will be occurring in inland areas. In fact, I think the east coast of the state probably has the best chance of seeing the heavier rainfall today, with that southwest wind blowing most of the convection into well inland areas. That one shower right now, pretty good one, just to the south and to the east of Arcadia, moving into pretty much unpopulated areas. We have seen the recent showers, as I was mentioning, kind of reduce our drought indexes a bit. Back to the west, some very heavy shower and some very heavy drought problems. But locally, you'll notice that area of abnormally dry weather through central Florida kind of retreating just a little bit thanks to those recent showers. So we like to see that continue, and we will have a slight chance of seeing some of those showers around this afternoon, about a 30% chance, mostly inland, and then that will taper off as we head into the overnight. Again tomorrow, another chance of rain though. We'll talk about that coming up in a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. With hurricane season now just about 5 weeks away, this is the time to sign up for flood insurance. Keep in mind there's a 30-day waiting period after payment before that policy becomes effective. Sarasota and Manatee County residents have access to affordable federally backed insurance premiums through the National Flood Insurance Program. These are some of the average premiums you might pay depending on your risk in Sarasota County. Typical homeowner in a low-risk zone would pay about $450 a year. Happening today, construction of the much-anticipated St. Armand's parking garage now underway. The parking lot where that garage will go up is now closed to the public. Workers are doing site prep today, which includes everything from removing bushes to taking out street lights. People who work around St. Armand's Circle say they've been waiting for this project to begin for a very long time.
I work here for 5 years now on the quay, and there are times in season when you're just not going to find a parking spot. You're going to walk. So I think it's going to really benefit everyone.
The garage is expected to be completed and open to the public by December. The $12 million project will have 4 stories, 500 parking spaces, and include rooftop solar panels. For now, drivers are encouraged to use the south lot off of Fillmore Drive or on-street parking if they can find it. Happening today, taking the bus is about to get easier in both Sarasota and Manatee counties. Both counties expanding their mobile ticketing service. Now the county's Token Transit app can be used to purchase a regional bus pass, which is honored by both MCAT and Sarasota County Area Transit. If you're a Skyway Connection passenger, you can use that mobile ticketing for travel between Manatee and Pinellas counties as well. Also happening today, the city of Sarasota will be giving away 235 trees to homeowners. The city partnering with the Arbor Day Foundation's Community Canopy program. It's no secret that planting trees in your yard is good for the planet, the community, and many times for your property values. To find out how you can reserve your own native tree, head over to mysuncoast.com for more information. Well, it's a sad week in Bradenton where a 34-year-old restaurant is shutting down. Miller's Dutch Kitchen will close its doors on Sunday. The family selling the business and the building. They still hope a buyer, though, will continue their legacy.
We got all these homemade pies. We have homemade ice cream. We got Amish peanut butter. These are things that somebody could market and take to the next level.
The restaurant first opened back in 1981 after the Miller family brought recipes from Amish country in Ohio south to Bradenton. And the Stardust Skate Center in Sarasota also closing its doors. The owners announcing on Facebook that they're closing the facility and will focus only now on their charter bus company that they still own. Stardust has been the site of thousands of birthday and skate parties over the years, and it will be missed by many. All right, time to get back to the kitchen and check in on that delicious citrus pound cake with Judy Gallagher.
Now we're going to make some glazes, and what is great is I found a recipe that used more than one glaze, and I thought about it and I said it makes perfect sense. So your typical glaze for a bundt cake or something like that is using confectionery sugar. You're going to use whole milk, about a tablespoon, and then you can use some fresh squeezed orange juice and lemon juice. If you want to separate this, so that can be one, and then you can do another one with just the confectionery sugar and some vanilla extract and a little bit of milk. So we're getting the two, and that's what you're going to see right here in this plastic container that's already done. So let's take, and I made this last night, so I didn't, you know, it makes it, whatever you can prep ahead of time always makes life a little easier, right? So that part's done, that beautiful vanilla glaze. And now we can just stir this in, and this will make the second glaze, the citrus glaze, which I like to say. So it's going to take about 1.5 cups of confectionery sugar, the 10X, because the more refined it is, the easier it is to smooth out, especially when you're doing something like a glaze. It's not going to be as thick as a buttercream, so you want to make sure that you don't get the lumps, and this refined powdered sugar really helps the way. Now, to give it a real good boost, some fresh lemon juice, catch those seeds along the way if we need to. There, we did well. Okay, so that will go on the top. Now, I happen to have some already made. Of course I do. So let's take the base of this cake. Okay, let me move it over here a little bit more. And let's take, I'll say just a little drizzle of the strawberry coulis that I made. Again, just strawberries, a few tablespoons of sweetener, and anywhere from 3/4 to a cup of water, give or take. Okay, so let's let that just drizzle down naturally. Give it a little push there by the sides, right? So now I have some strawberries here because we'll be using that for the garnish. And then I'll bring over the second piece right here. Parchment paper is your friend when you're baking. It's easier so it doesn't get stuck on the sides. Now we're going to take the citrus glaze, and look at this. We're just going to drizzle it all over. And you know, pound cake is forgiving, so if the sides get bumped or anything like that, don't worry about it. Just enjoy it. And again, we'll put some more strawberry sauce on top. This is a recipe you're going to keep in your box forever because you can switch it out with blueberries or raspberries. But for me, I think it's just going to be the perfect season to have it. Come back in just a few minutes. I'll let you know where you can find the recipe, and we'll take a bite.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings on new Ram trucks during the spring sales event. Shop the area's largest selection of new Ram trucks. Get the all-new redesigned 2018 Ram Quad Cab for as little as $23,999. Or save big and get up to $12,400 off a new Ram Bighorn Crew Cab. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota today.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking a part-time news specialist for live news broadcasts, a public affairs show, and paid programs. Visit mysuncoast.com/joboftheday to apply.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it today at Sunset Maserati, Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
Well, it's a warm day today. Fair amount of cloud cover around as well. We're looking at an 81-degree air temperature, but the dew point value is really high in 73. When you get dew points in those low 70s, mid 70s, you're talking summertime kind of mugginess out there. The air temperature will not be summer-like. It will be warm, no doubt about it, but the cloud cover, I think, will help keep our temperatures down to the mid-80s today. Also, we're going to develop a more onshore flow. Right now it's south, but it will develop into a southwest wind as we head into the later half of the afternoon. That'll help kind of tame the temperatures just a little bit as well. Breezy out there, coming in at 17 right now, pumping up the moisture from the south. We have temperatures that are in inland areas now approaching 84, 85 degrees. In fact, that would probably top out inland at around 87 degrees or so, kind of similar to what we saw yesterday. Cooler near the coast, though, with that onshore wind flow later on. So a lot of cloud cover across the region. We know that. We do have some breaks in the clouds out in the Gulf waters, and some of those breaks will allow enough sunshine in to help revitalize the rain chance this afternoon. A low pressure area to the north moves off to the Atlantic coastline. That helps to provide us with, well, the potential for some heavier rain along the mid-Atlantic coast. So Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte airports both in line for perhaps some airport delays later in the day. Clouds today and tomorrow. Slight rain chances, not great rain chances today, only about 30% this afternoon, and then maybe again tomorrow morning, maybe about a 40% chance as this front finally comes through. But once the front is through tomorrow, high pressure will build in, and that will provide us with a string of really very nice days. Got one lone shower south of Arcadia and to the east of Arcadia that continues to press away from that city. Otherwise, things are quiet, but we'll see more showers dotting the landscape as we head into the afternoon. Rain chance coming in at about 30% this afternoon, trending down through the afternoon, and then tomorrow morning kind of picking back up just a little bit. Rainfall futurecast shows most of the showers over on the other coast, with not a whole lot of accumulation on our coast. Look for about a 10-knot wind turning west this afternoon. And as we head into the next couple of days, 30% chance of showers today, 40% early tomorrow, and then we'll see clearing in the second half of the day, followed by that string of beautiful days that I was talking about. Slightly cooler temperatures, lower relative humidity, plenty of sunshine. Next front comes through on Saturday with a chance of rain then, and we clear out again on Sunday. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In consumer news, notice the rise in gas prices recently? Well, you're not alone. Prices are climbing across the country. The national average is up to about $2.83 a gallon. That's 37 cents more than what we were paying this time last year. The jump in prices is being blamed on rising crude oil costs. According to the app Gas Buddy, the average price right now for regular here on the Suncoast is about $2.69 a gallon. Southwest Airlines grounding dozens of flights following last week's fatal engine failure that left a passenger dead. The FAA and European Aviation Safety Agency both issuing an emergency directive calling for airplanes to inspect certain engines. Southwest says it will be performing engine inspections on its planes for 30 days, and so far flight cancellations have been minimal, with only about 1% of its scheduled flights affected. Well, a Sarasota man has a new way to help find missing pets. This is the Pet Detective app. You just create a profile for your pet, and then if they ever get lost, with a touch of a button, people in your area within a 2-mile radius will be notified. Kevin Engel says the service is more personalized than posting to a local page on social media or putting up flyers, because it sends out an alert to the immediate area where that pet disappeared. As for future plans, he says they're looking to help people who have found a pet as well.
Google released something called Google Lens, where you can stand at a distance and take a picture of an animal and it will tell you the breed. And so we're going to add that technology into our app so that you don't have to walk up when you find an animal that may be scared. You can actually take a picture of it and it will tell you a little bit about the animal. So it helps us determine the animal that's been found.
Angel says he hopes to make it so that when you find your animal, you can immediately notify Animal Services through this app. Great idea. Still to come in your Suncoast News, how you could get your hands on an iconic pair of shoes worn by the King of Pop.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today, and named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
We answered the call of duty and left our homes to serve in far-off lands. Now we answer another call, this time at home, in our own communities, to respond in times of chaos, to use our strength, our skills, and our experiences to bring hope amid devastation and destruction. Together, as a team of brothers and sisters, we're continuing our mission to make this country a little stronger and a little better each day. We are Team Rubicon.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
I witnessed him have 2 heart attacks in ICU. He went through seizures.
We'd much rather have Aaron like this than dead. A lot of parents don't have that luxury.
He can't talk. He can't walk. This is a condition Aaron will live with for the rest of his life because he abused prescription pills.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
You are the best protection she has. Buddy up. I'm Jill Harrington. Please visit HelpSaveTheNextGirl.com and get involved.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
When evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio, Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
So here we have it. We have a layered version of a citrus pound cake with the 2 different glazes, the vanilla glaze and that orange lemon glaze, and then a little strawberry sauce on top. So easy to make, and the fresh strawberries. I think you're gonna really enjoy this. If you're gonna be bringing it to an event, put it in a cake holder. It will hold up well in the refrigerator till you're ready to serve. It also freezes beautifully without the glaze. You can get this recipe by going on mysuncoast.com. Just click on dining and you'll find this recipe. And don't forget, every Wednesday you could be entered to win a gift card to one of our various restaurant partners and dine out and enjoy it on us. So sign up for our culinary page and our newsletter. And in the meantime, you can have your cake and eat it too. Guys, I'll save you a piece.
Thank you, Judy. Looks delicious. In entertainment news, the directors of Avengers: Infinity War are keeping the title of the movie's sequel under wraps for now. Rick Damigella shows us why in today's Hollywood Minute.
There was an idea to bring together a group of remarkable people.
The Russo brothers are currently promoting this week's release of Avengers: Infinity War while keeping the title of its sequel under wraps. The directing siblings revealed why they are keeping the name secret and how Infinity War won't reveal it either, at least not directly.
You're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Yeah, you won't get it, but certainly your experience of this movie when you is connected to the title.
So we want to make sure that people have enough time to see this film, digest the story, appreciate the story, before we tell them what the next story is they can expect.
There's nothing virtual about these numbers. Variety reports Ready Player One has crossed the $500 million mark at the worldwide box office. The industry paper says 120 million of that number is from domestic ticket sales, but more than 200 million of it is from moviegoers in China.
Home to the deadly leopard seal, the mighty killer whale, and Steve.
Here's a sneak peek at Disney Nature's Penguins, with Steve being the star, of course. The documentary about the flightless aquatic birds follows Steve as he seeks to find a mate, build a nest, and start a family. Penguins waddles into theaters on Earth Day 2019. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
That looks good. Well, A Quiet Place back on top at the box office in week 3 of its release after being bumped to second last week by the debut of Rampage. The Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson action film slips to second place now with $21 million in ticket sales, only $1 million less than A Quiet Place. John Krasinski's horror film has now made more than $200 million in the last 20 days. I think it cost only $17 million to make. Calling all Michael Jackson fans, you have a chance to bid on the infamous shoes worn during his very first moonwalk performance. The King of Pop wore the black loafers during rehearsals for the Motown 25 TV special back in 1983. The shoes will go up for auction May 26th. It's estimated they'll sell for more than $10,000. Jackson gave the shoes to a choreographer who has had them ever since. Finally, people are flocking to Arizona to catch a glimpse of the rare corpse flower, or maybe just to catch a whiff. The flower, named Rosie, lives in the botanical gardens of Tucson. The famed funky plant blooms once every 10 years, and when it does, it gives off a stench that's been compared to rotting flesh. The Gardens is even streaming the event live on YouTube for the whole world to witness. And we are very fortunate that Selby Gardens has a couple of those that bloom every decade.
Gets a huge crowd.
It does, yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great day.